Dr. Lee, thank you for your excellent signature assignment for IS 501. Everything was exceedingly well done. Thank you. One of the best papers in the class. I have a sneaky suspicion that as you move to the Bay Area, and I'm assuming that means the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm an East Coaster, so we have other Bay Areas over here, but I assume that's the San Francisco Bay Area. I sense that you could be an incredibly powerful teacher within a local church. I remember one woman in Pensacola, Florida, who began a Sunday morning Bible study, and I realize not many Bible studies are done on Sunday morning anymore, but she was incredibly powerful in her teaching. And that class grew from 5 to 10 to 50. And finally, the last contact I had with that church, she had 120 people in her Bible study before worship on Sunday morning. And she was a major transforming figure within that congregation as it went from a basically dead congregation, a social group, to an on-fire, missionary-sending, mission-supporting, very, very powerful church. So she had a major role in the strengthening and transformation of that church. I have a sneaky suspicion that the Lord is going to open doors for you to teach and to have a powerful teaching ministry. I'd like to go toe-to-toe with you on your concept of the Sabbath. Of course, you need to develop your own concept of the Sabbath, but somewhere in your paper, you mentioned that your Sabbath would be 2 to 4 hours twice a month. I would seriously question whether or not that is biblical. Actually, I don't believe for a moment that that's biblical. And there are many times in our lives where we have to understand the cultures from which we come. In the majority of Oriental cultures, there is an incredibly strong work ethic. I fully understand that, and work becomes really the center of life in many Oriental cultures. Then you move into a conversation about the medical profession. And what type of culture does the medical profession put forth? And that is one of an extreme work ethic. They begin that with internships and residencies where you are expected to be working anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week. And it doesn't just train you in a concentrated way, it also sets a lifelong habit and path for the medical profession. And I don't believe it is the pathway or the culture which is in the kingdom of God. Then, of course, we have American culture where overwork is celebrated. The scriptures say that a day will come when sin is celebrated. When it comes to ignoring the Sabbath, I believe we have reached that point in the United States where we not just accept that people don't respect the Sabbath, we celebrate their hard work ethic. Oh, what a wonderful person you are for completely and totally ignoring the Sabbath. I encourage you to go toe-to-toe as you move from Hong Kong to the Bay Area. I encourage you to think long and hard about what your new life will be. My wife made a decision as a registered pharmacist to not work 5 days a week. She's now working 3 days a week, and we do just fine on the income that she and I have from her working 3 days a week. And we're empty nesters now, no kids in the house, so we have less of a financial need. And we have arranged our lives in such a way where we don't absolutely, positively have to have a full-time job for my wife. Whatever it takes, I deeply encourage you to be involved in a teaching ministry. God, at this point in your life, has a beautiful call for you within the kingdom. I completely believe that. And while your work in the medical profession is of tremendous importance for all of the heart patients that you work with and whose lives you save, but I believe God also has a call for you within the kingdom in a very special way, and those doors are about to open up for you. My prayer is that on your journey, you take a deep breath and you walk through those doors. It will feel at times like you are walking right off a cliff. When I became a missionary to Paraguay, it was walking off a cliff. When I took a feisty church that I knew was a problem waiting to happen in Tampa, Florida, I felt like I was walking off a cliff. When I agreed to start doing ministry in Cuba, I felt like I was walking off a cliff. But the beautiful thing about those cliffs is that every time I walk off one of them, I take 2, 3, 4 steps, and I realize I'm not falling, but God is completely supporting what God has called myself and my family to do. Blessings on the incredible ministry that God has for you.